Hello, it's Georgia from MathReady. MathReady can do a lot of things, but at its core, it makes it very easy for teachers to get their students practicing their mental math skills to build their confidence and their math fluency. Today, I'll take you through how MathReady works from a teacher's perspective. MathReady is made up of about 250 different mental math skills. Things like multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands, converting fractions to decimals, working with length conversions, orders of operations, all those foundational skills that students need good recall on to become very fluent in their maths. What it lets teachers do is build a game that gets kids actively practicing those skills. Say you've got a Year 4 class reviewing fractions. You might start them off with a 2 times tables activity, then move to equivalent fractions, adding fractions, and maybe a simplifying fractions task. You can tailor it to whatever you're teaching that week. Once you've built your game, say we're calling it Week 1 Review, you just click to generate a game code. Students use that game code to join in at mathready.com. They can even do a little warm-up activity before you start the game. Once the game begins, here's what it looks like for you as a teacher, and here's what the students will see. Each activity that you've chosen to review becomes a round in the game. Each round runs for 1 minute, as shown by the timer counting down here. So the game that we've just created has 4 rounds, with each round going for 60 seconds, as indicated by the purple bar counting down here. Students try to answer as many questions as they can. They all work individually on their own devices, with questions randomly selected from the same pool. So while they're practicing the same concept, they're all doing different questions. No copying of the person next to them. Students get immediate feedback, so if they get the question right, we tell them. And if they get it wrong, we show them the correct answer for that instant feedback, and they can keep moving on. Most activities also come with a help chart, which relates to the questions that are being asked. We want them to feel that extra support and also build confidence in the ability to solve questions by themselves. Here's something that sets us apart: the leaderboard. Most gamified platforms rank students top to bottom. The same students tend to always win, others eventually disengage, they give up before they even start. But what we often see is those students who are giving up and disengaging are those students who need more help and need more practice. MathReady's goal is to try and motivate these students. So what we do is we split the students into smaller groups based on their performance. The top 4 go into one leaderboard, the next 4 into another, and so on. Each student only sees the group's leaderboard that their name appears. So instead of 1 winner per round, you might have 6 or 7 students who all get to the top of the leaderboard. They don't know which group they're in. They just see their own small leaderboard where they have a real shot at the top. And this happens after every single round, not just at the end. We keep re-evaluating, so if a student drops slightly in performance, they might end up at the top of the next round's leaderboard. Even students at the bottom of the class are competing with others at a similar level, which keeps everyone engaged. Now, when the game finishes, the platform automatically looks at each student's performance and identifies 3 activities they struggled with. All the teacher needs to do is click Auto Set, and those activities get assigned as follow-up tasks. When students do those follow-up activities, it's the same format, just without the timer. They get 20 questions, work at their own pace, and we give them positive feedback when they're correct. If they need help, there's scaffolding there and even a video there that they can look at for that extra support. All the data here is saved so teachers can monitor students' progress. We also track when a student uses their help charts. So if a student gets 20 out of 20 but uses the chart every time, we lower their competency score. It's a way of indicating to the teacher whether the student is truly fluent. Those follow-up tasks were set by the game, but teachers can override them at any time. You might have a student like Molly who you want to assign something else to. Say instead of the simplifying fractions activity, she needs more times tables practice. You can change the task manually and it updates instantly. Every time a student completes an activity, they earn points. They can spend their points on creative rewards, and if they run out, they're encouraged to complete more activities to earn more points. So it gives that extra boost of motivation there. Here's something else that we do differently. We call it the multi-group games. If you've got a mixed ability class, it's nearly impossible to create one game that's both engaging for your high performers and accessible for your students who need more support. MathReady groups them for you automatically. Because we know teachers know their kids best, this is also very customizable. Then what you can do with MathReady is assign different custom games to each group. So you might have a group for your extension kids with more difficult activities, assign a custom game for your more limited kids with more of those fundamental building blocks that might have been missed. Then when you run the game, everyone still plays together using the same game code, but each group receives questions appropriate to their level. Students don't know what group they're in, so you might have a student who's typically at the bottom of your class ending up at the top of the leaderboard with 3 extension students underneath them, because they're competing within their group on activities that are suited to their level. This keeps every student motivated while still challenging your high achievers, and it's building that inclusive environment all in the one classroom. And that's the beauty of MathReady. It's differentiated learning that feels like a game but gives you all the data and flexibility to really support your students' progress.